This is it, everybody. This is the end. We have an emergency Campfire Tales, but for all goes to shit. And I know what you're thinking. Eli, weren't we supposed to talk about truckers? No, not today, because there's more pertinent things to talk about. But first, let's talk to see who else is with me to learn the truth tonight. First, we have Jeff. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
I'm doing great. I had to prepare myself for this. So,
Jeff, can I ask you a question?
sure.
It looks like we are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of aliens do you want to fight in the upcoming alien war? Like the alien from Signs, or like the aliens from Alien?
I mean, I feel like I've already addressed the aliens from Signs, and they're quite possibly the dumbest intergalactic
They
race
shoot poison mist from their wrist
to a planet that's mostly water, and water kills them. They're the dumbest aliens of any aliens that there could possibly come to Earth.
What if they wrap themselves in saran wrap?
They're still dumb. Then they're dumb and just look dumb. Like,
all right, fair enough. Also, we have Jamie. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing good. Been listening to the Barbie soundtrack all day. I didn't want to speak out of term, but saran wrap is not like waterproof. I mean,
it's plastic. If you make it tight, like, why do you think they have? If you break your leg, right? They tell you to wrap your cast.
Life in plastic.
Oh yeah,
wrap.
Yeah.
You know?
Thanks for the connection, Jeff.
Hey, does that mean Barbie's an alien?
Could be.
Oh my God, we'll never know. Now, Jamie, I have to ask you a question. You are not what you call a believer, right?
No, I mean, no. But
will you feel foolish when the aliens kill you first?
No, I'm not going to live to see the aliens, Eli. I hate to break that to you.
No,
It's just even if they're good,
they're already here. You're going to learn something tonight.
They're not here.
They're here already, and you're going to learn something tonight.
I can see where
foolish.
this is going.
Hey, listen, just let me know. Let me know when the show's done. I'll give you my address so you can send me your apology card.
I have your address.
Well, then I'll be waiting for my apology card. Also joining us is Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Dave, I asked you a question.
Okay.
Aliens are here. Could be walking among us. What's your technique to try to spot them out? Do you have any techniques? How are you going to get through this new world when they could be around any corner?
I do the same thing I do in the backwoods when I'm hiking, and I think I have a suspicion that there's a bear. You know, the traditional call of the woodsman is "Hey bear." So if I have a suspicion that there's aliens, I start going, "Hey alien, hey alien."
And do you think they're going to answer?
It'll spook them.
Wait, is your plan
confuse them just enough?
Hold on, are you telling me right now your defense in life is the Marco Polo effect?
No, I'm telling you that the black bear defense is no can defend.
Just say like, hey bear. And then just say, hey aliens, until like they probe you to death. Is that your
exactly? Then they know I know. Then we're cool. Sometimes, Eli, the simplest answer is the greatest answer.
The worst one.
As bad as Signs alien, Jeff, or not as bad?
What, Dave's answer?
Yeah.
Nah, the Signs alien still got it.
Fair enough.
Stupid. It's so stupid. Like, we can travel through space, but we're going to go to this. It's obviously blue you can see from outer space. It's blue. It's not like they showed up and it was like, oh, what a surprise here. Man, they were so bad.
Maybe
they're just suicidal.
Or they didn't know what water was. Maybe they've never come in contact with it yet.
But they shoot poison. Poison's liquid.
Out of their wrist. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dumb.
Fair enough. And lastly is Jordan. John, how you doing, John?
I'm great, Eli. I'm ready for the truth.
John, I'm about to ask you a question.
Of course you do.
And this is an important one.
I'm waiting.
What is going to be your defense if you hear the aliens are here and they're looking for a probing good time? What are you going to hide? You going to fight? You going to run? You going to make a plastic cap to cover yourself? What are you doing?
Well, first I would probably call you, Eli, and ask you what to do.
First off, if you have to call and ask me what to do, you're already dead. It's too late.
So there you go. We're dead. We're all dead.
You've been probed to death. And at that moment, I want you to be like, I wish I listened to Eli.
Game over, man.
But I haven't listened to you yet. So how could I say I wish I listened to you?
You've been listening to me for a year and you've not taken any lessons for me.
I've listened to you, but I haven't heard anything how to survive an alien attack yet.
That means you don't deserve to live.
When did this
Wow.
become a stepmom argument?
Hey, listen. This is I'm on what I'm calling the Eli Blake You're Right tour. That's what's going on right now. The I'm right tour. I was right. But hey, let's get into this.
I don't believe any of us told you were wrong about aliens.
I could see it in your eyes.
Because telling you were wrong would require us engaging you on it.
First off, mean and cruel. Secondly, how dare you? And thirdly, you won't be saying that when we're done here because this is an emergency meeting of the Wicked Wilds Campfire Tales. I know everybody was looking forward to talking about truck stuff. We ain't talk about truck stuff tonight because a crazy thing happened on Wednesday, July 26th in terms of a House Oversight Committee hearing that was on television that happened in real life. And we're going to be talking about the hearing involving UFOs or UAPs, as they call them, and what's being referred to as non-human biologics. What does that basically mean? Fucking aliens, people. That's what that means. Admitted in a congressional hearing by good witnesses. But I don't want to lay this all on you at first. I need you to really soak this up and understand this. So I divide this information into 3 parts. Part 1, I'm going to give you a little background, some little dots for you to connect. Part 2, we're going to be talking about this whistleblower hearing that occurred last Wednesday, where the truth was dropped. Part 3, I'm going to tell you about the theories and what that means for us.
I'm a little afraid, Eli. I don't, this sounds like, I just want you to know I need to be in bed by midnight here. I don't have.
Listen, this is only going to take, it's only going to take 11 and a half hours. We'll take 3 bathroom breaks. Okay. We'll take 3 bathroom breaks. No.
He's only compressing 70 years worth of news into a couple hours.
I, for the background stuff, I only pulled the important, pertinent things that applied to points of this hearing that makes it quite interesting and supports my theory about what's happening. And then we'll talk about what the common theories are, but we all know who's right in the situation. This guy.
I asked if we were approaching this rationally or one-sided.
Isn't it the same thing?
No, it's not.
I'm the most rational person you know.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
Can you name one
that's
thing
a statement
that I have done that wasn't rational?
I don't think we got enough time.
Listen, if you want to know how rational I am, when my defense for any fight I'm in involves shitting myself, which is a defense that animals use to survive in the wild, rational.
I think you're going against your point here, but could enlighten us.
All right. There's 3 basic facts here, or 3 basic background pieces before we get into this hearing that I all need you to remember. When we get this here, that then when we talk about what was dropped on us in this hearing, make you go, oh, wow. Fact number 1. The Los Alamos National Laboratory, which is a government-funded lab in New Mexico, still operating today, had a famous start because it was founded.
Right? Wasn't that like their where that guy did his Custard's Last Stand at? Right?
No, nothing to do with Custard. Mr. Oppenheimer, that was the lab that was started during the Manhattan Project, where they were building the atomic bomb.
Oh, no, you're right. You know what? That was Davy Crockett at Los Alamos, right?
Nope. Still the wrong area. Still the wrong person.
We're going to be here for hours.
But the biggest thing about that lab was the location the first time humans were able to split an atom, and was testing that by blowing shit up by splitting atoms in the desert. That's an important fact. It started in 1933. And they were testing all the way up to the late 30s. Or I'm sorry, not 33, 37, all the way up through the late 30s or 40s for the bomb testing, right? The famous Trinity blast that happened, like you see on TV when you talk about Oppenheimer, that occurred there.
I'm pretty sure there's a pretty decent movie out about all that right now.
There is right now called Oppenheimer.
The Barbie
there
movie,
is.
right?
Oh, you're the
That's-
worst.
Wasn't
Now-
the
man.
wasn't the atom bomb testing videos faked?
No, they're
I'm
thinking of the
pretty
moon
sure
landing.
there was some. No, there was some fake ones because I was watching the videos and the bomb goes off, right, and it's like blowing the houses away. And how did the camera survive?
I think you were watching the Barbenheimer trailer.
Were you watching the Barbenheimer trailer?
No, I'm not even joking.
Because there's the one video that they had in the fake house they built, and when it goes off, you see it, and then you see the rush, and then the camera cuts because it blew that fucker away.
No, that's the one I'm talking about. And there's also like a little car behind it in one.
You're
scene,
talking about
and
the
then
one
next
that
scene
looked from
there's
the
bomb.
outside of the house, right?
Yeah,
I'm talking about the one from inside the house.
There was no bomb inside the house.
No, there's a
It's just
camera
like,
inside the house.
isn't that a horror movie? Like the bombs coming from inside the house, wasn't it?
Oh,
I
my
wonder.
God.
I wonder what would happen if we went. I mean, we all know that Eli's been waiting for this episode of this subject his entire life. I wonder what would actually happen to him if he would implode like a neutron star if we didn't let him land.
We never
one
get
fact.
there. Yeah.
My brain will blow. Because let me tell you, for those of you that are listening, go watch YouTube videos so you can see this. While I'm watching this hearing and things are coming out, my face was doing this
No way.
because I was like, "Oh my God, it's happening! It's happening!"
Ugh.
Before I get too far ahead, the second fact I want you to remember is 10 years.
What was the first fact?
The Los
His
Alamos,
face.
the Los Alamos lab,
Okay.
and the splitting of the atom.
The Barbenheimer.
Got it.
Okay.
Then, fact number 2, 10 years later, there was another incident in New Mexico in a little town called Roswell where a UFO crashed. The government came out and apparently took the UFO crash and the aliens inside of it and then went on to cover it up. One of the greatest cover-ups in the world.
It was
Yeah,
a
where
weather
this little
balloon.
fact come from? Yeah, where the fact.
The
Where's the
Roswell,
factual-
that is Roswell is the most famous alien crash of all time.
The most famous weather balloon of all
Yeah.
time.
It wasn't a weather balloon until days after. There's many witnesses in that town that do
So
not
did it-
corroborate that.
So it changed into a weather balloon?
It was never a weather balloon. It was
You said
never a weather
You
balloon.
just said the fact. It
No.
changed into a weather balloon.
No,
days
I didn't
after.
say anything about what that was Dave. I'm saying the fact was greatest or the most famous UFO and government cover up in the world.
Okay.
All right. Fact number 3, and this one's an important one.
Ugh.
Since 1989, a scientist named Bob Lazar, who worked at the Los Alamos labs before he was recruited by the government to work at Area 51, came forward and talked about all these tech and new elements and said that the government had recovered UFOs, were trying to reverse engineer them, and had their pilots. And that he came forward because he realized the government was following him and like he thought the American people should know. Everybody thought he was a crackpot, but George Knapp, who was this reporter who everybody thought was a crackpot who reported all these things, reported about it for years, talked about it, and how like when all this tech and elements that Bob Lazar talked about ended up becoming real, it was like he was talking about this years ago, right? And even recently, George Knapp and his protege Jeremy Corbett, who did the documentary about Bob Lazar, was thanked in Congress during this hearing for helping get this information to light. So those are 3 things you need to know.
A thank you
It
letter.
was
They thanked them. They had them in the hearing and thanked them for all their hard work in bringing this stuff to light with their journalistic integrity.
what
Which-
are you saying? They what them?
Thanked them.
What?
Thanked. They
Thanked?
thanked.
There's
Yeah.
There's a T.
I'm saying the
Thanked.
T. Thanked. I'm
Thanked.
saying the T. Thanked.
No, you're saying thank them. Thank.
He thanked them. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Thank-
The T.
thanked.
Thanked.
Say
That's what I'm saying.
thank.
Thanked.
Say
thanked.
thank you.
Thank you.
Now say thanked.
Thank you.
What? What's wrong with you? Why are you
What's
saying
wrong
it
with
like
me?
that? Is,
Poor
I
anybody,
say like
Eli is
a
already
person.
wrecked.
is anybody else hearing that? It sounds really weird when you say thanked. Like there's a V in there or something like that.
Oh. There's no V in it. Thank you.
I don't know. Sounds weird.
Are you guys
You know-
working for the government? Are you trying to stop this truth from coming out?
Well, in the same spirit of what Senate did, we all wanted to together thank you, Eli, for your hard work and
I'm
research.
saying thank you. What is, I don't understand what's going on. I'm saying thank you.
You are saying thank you.
Thank.
Oh my God. Remember those 3 facts because there's a lot of
That they thanked people. I thank people all the time. It's
You
completely
for
empty.
when
Thank
the
you.
aliens
It's just
come.
like,
It's nothing.
or sometimes it's this. Thanks.
When the,
Yeah,
when the
yeah.
aliens come, you 4 will be the first ones to be abducted.
Wow.
The first
yeah.
4 to be abducted.
I don't think
When
so.
my
but-
when my 3-year-old would draw me a picture and give it to me, I'd go, "Oh, thank you."
Thank you for your hard work and your
I don't even know. I'm
contribution.
saying thank. I don't even know what the issue is. I'm saying thank you.
We've given you a new
Congress,
complex. That's the
which
that's the
Congress
good-
people thanked them.
The House Oversight Committee who did the whistleblower.
They thank the hell out of them.
I said thank. I don't understand what the problem is.
We have a new button on the board, people.
Does it go
Anyway.
before or after woof?
What if
That
I was
I
going to say? What if the aliens come back and they're kind of like feral dog like creatures
Uh-huh.
roam around in
You're saying they're like wolves, right?
the woods? It's possible.
Anyways,
This beer is delicious.
those are important facts you need to know.
Are they?
Yes, because it builds on the
So-
whistleblower testification.
They were thanked.
Yes.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Yep.
And what was the first one again?
Uh,
Hi, Barbie.
Oppenheimer.
The Alamo.
Yeah.
The Alamo. Right.
Bomb
Yeah,
weather
I don't know.
balloon. Thank you. Bomb weather
Coonskin
balloon.
hat.
Thank you.
At the Alamo.
I'll tell you. I tell you what.
Okay.
Anyways,
These are airtight pieces of proof and information.
Los Alamos Labs is a real thing. You look it up online.
Okay,
It's-
yes, but I
yeah.
just meant never mind.
Yeah, the bomb is
Oppenheimer-
real. We agree. The bomb is
Oppenheimer's
very
a real
real.
guy. The Roswell incident, real incident, it occurred.
Yes,
It's in the
it was
history
a
books.
very real piece
Wait.
of
Weather balloons.
weather equipment.
Bob Lazar, real man, real,
he's real.
first whistleblower.
Big Bobby Z. That's what we call him.
Well, that's weird because his last name starts with an L, not a Z, so I don't know
Well,
why you
it's-
call that.
Well, if you want to get pedantic, it's Lazar, which
Listen,
is the czar. So
first
it's
off,
Bobby.
If we're getting pedantic,
Wait,
you're making
wait.
fun of every word I say.
Is he one of the lizard people?
No, he's not a
Yes.
lizard person. He's
Bob
Bob
Lazar.
Lazard?
Oh
Hello.
my god. What
Bob
is
Lazard, right? Isn't
Can
that?
we start all over?
Maybe he's a
I don't-
maybe he's a French lizard.
Uh,
Lazard.
He is not a French lizard. He's an American hero. One of the first ones.
I bet if you put your shades on, you can tell if he's a lizard person or not.
Eli, the lizard man worshiper.
Do you
I
think
no,
that-
I have
Okay,
nothing to do with lizard people.
Do you think that Eli is experiencing what like substitute teachers experienced in like
Yes,
the 90s?
100%.
I-
Yeah, the worst thing Eli did was tell us that this mattered to him.
You know what I feel like at
Yes.
work
And he wanted to teach us.
when I'm training new hires and they're like, just a heads up, they have no experience doing what we do.
Mm.
Train them. And I'm like, okay. That's what it feels like right now. And when the
So
aliens
this is-
come,
This is more fun, I'm sure.
you'll
Yeah.
all be sorry.
So
No,
how
you
far
train
into
your-
the Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, you train the new hires about the aliens.
That's what I'm
That's
thinking.
what Eli he brings him into
I
a
should.
room.
I should. I'm like, listen, come in the room. I know what you
You're-
think we're learning. It's not what we're learning today.
Do your new hires ever send you a thank you card?
I'm saying thank you. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm saying thank. I don't know. I'm saying thank you.
You are saying thank. That's
Yeah,
right.
thank you. I'm saying it. I'm saying the word. I don't.
We're agreeing with you. That is not the word, but we are agreeing. That's what
Thank
you're
you.
saying.
That's the word. Thank you. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you. What? Give me something. What I say? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, let's get this hearing. So, for those of you that remember, many whistleblowers have come forward in terms to the UFO and aliens in the Whistleblower Act reporting it. They had 3 of them testify before the House Oversight Committee on Wednesday. You had Ryan Graves, who was a former Navy fighter pilot who retired, and then before he retired, his squad actually had ran in with a UFO, which there's a tape of. And then when he retired from the military, he went to the private sector working with commercial pilots and commercial pilots and private pilots. And then while he was doing that, because in 2019, a lot of these videos got released by the Pentagon for these UFOs. Well, all these commercial pilots and stuff were like, hey, you were involved in that. We're all seeing a ton of these things, but we don't report it because one, there's nowhere for us to report it to. And two, we will lose our license if we do. So he created this organization called the Americans for Safe Aerospace. And that's kind of what he's doing now, is collecting these reports of UAP that these pilots are seeing, because there's nowhere for them to turn this in.
And Graves is the Tic Tac guy, right?
No, that is Fravor.
Oh.
The second whistleblower was David Fravor, who was a retired Navy commander who was a pilot. He was the one that in 2019, when what kind of all started this, when that article in the New York Times was like, hey, the military knows about UFOs and this is the whole thing. Shortly after, his video was leaked of when he was flying the plane, and he had that running with the famous Tic Tac video. He was whistleblower number 2. But the cream of the crop, the just chef's kiss of whistleblowers, was Mr. David Grush. David Grush was an active Air Force intelligence officer who was an intelligence officer up until last year, who was assigned to 2 intelligence squads dealing with UAPs or UFOs. And then he saw some stuff and filed a whistleblower report with the intelligence community. And then when he felt like that wasn't going anywhere, he filed a whistleblower report with Congress, which is how he got involved in this. And then he went public with some of the things that were not classified for his protection, because he was concerned that something might happen to him if he didn't. So those were your 3 whistleblowers, and they had a whole lot to say. A ton of stuff. The whole time they're talking, mouth dropped wide open. This day is either going to go down in the world history as either the day that aliens were finally admitted in Congress, an open Congress by whistleblowers who've been vetted, or B, as the day a government pulled the greatest scam on live TV that's ever occurred. One of the 2. Crazy day in history.
Okay.
Jamie, you don't look like you believe any of this.
I just never mind.
What are you gonna say? I got big boy feelings. I can handle it.
It the day that no one has said aliens exist. They are open to. They're opening. They never said that
David Grush did, yes.
Biologics.
He said he actually got
Wait, what did he
specific.
say? He said
non-human. Non-human biologics of either extraterrestrial
What's the definition
nature,
of biologics?
something living, living
something
material.
non-human. It could be cats for all we know.
Well, he said
No, but I
when
guess
the
what I'm
cats
saying
come
is,
to
can
Earth-
it just be like a material, like a?
it could be skin.
Again, it might not. It's just like.
But according to their intelligence, he saw it was either a non-human biologic of extraterrestrial origin, not of this Earth, or not of this dimension.
He's the only one who knows about it, right?
No, he's the only one that's come forward in the
That's what I
whistleblower
mean.
report.
That's what I mean. He is the
But
only person.
Hold on. There's reason. Let me get to
Okay.
this. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Let me get this. I'll explain all. It all makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you, Eli.
You're welcome. The first big bombshell they dropped on this, right, was that they said, so the biggest thing that came from this hearing was, one, that despite having all the security clearances the House Oversight Committee has, because their whole job is to oversight the other branches of the government, the Pentagon, the intelligence community, and the Department of Defense are refusing to give them any of this information, and in a SCIF setting. What a SCIF means is this protected private bubble room that they can speak freely in, which is crazy, right? The second biggest thing that came out of this hearing, according to these whistleblowers, is that the U.S. government military has been aware of UAPs and their pilots since the 1930s. What also happened in the 1930s? A little bit of atomic bomb action. Whoa, right? I know what you're thinking. Where's he going with this? Hold on. We'll get there.
That is what I'm thinking.
We'll get there in the theory section. Trust me. The next biggest bombshell that they said is that the U.S. military has, since the 30s, have been actively recovering these crashed UAPs or UFOs and non-human biologics that he said, according to the intelligence he saw, this Dave Grush, was either of non-human biologics that was extraterrestrial, so from not of Earth, or not of this dimension, so interdimensional, which when they asked about, he could not talk about in the public setting and spoke over the private setting. So we don't get further clarification of that. But once again, you have an open congressional hearing talking about aliens and people of other dimensions.
I'm getting signs alien vibes a little bit though.
Wait,
Like
how are you getting signs?
You're telling me these things can like fly all crazy.
Yep.
We never see them,
Yeah.
but yet they keep fucking crashing. But we keep recovering stuff.
Yeah, they can go through space, but they can't fly in Earth's atmosphere. I guess
Well,
they just keep wrecking into everything.
I mean, you know, how do we know that that when they're crashing, it's actually because we're not shooting them down?
Well, again, if a bunch of underdeveloped cavemen, in effect, can knock you out of the sky with big plugs of lead.
But you're forgetting we can split the atom.
And they can't?
But I would have known if we had shot a nuke into the sky. I think I would have heard about that.
I mean, maybe. Have you noticed a lot of bad storms lately?
Oh, is that what nuclear warfare is happening around us?
I don't even know. We don't even know. There's a shadow war going on.
Are you going to start talking about the aliens that hide in the sun?
Not yet. We'll get there. The other biggest thing that was spoke of that Congress is actively trying to investigate now is, according to Dave Grush, is that the military they're keeping this very secret and don't want this on the books. Something Congress has been actually tackling for about 5 years now is the Department of Defense has failed their audit for years and years now, and it's always by large amounts of money, billions and billions of dollars. Well, according to Dave Grush, is what they do is they take a lot of these money for other stuff and they funnel it to these private corporations that partner with them to study these UAPs and these aliens. So that way, one, it's not on the books. Two, because they get private sector involved, they can keep more stuff secret because they don't have to admit it. And two, they're funneling funds. And I know I saw your face, John. You're thinking, how is that possible? Because I'll tell you, when they do these partnerships, the U.S. government has one security clearance. Like, there's one security clearance track. Like, this is what our security clearances are. Either are secret, top secret, whatever. Well, when they partner with the private sector can create their own that is either more advanced or farther up. And so then they can essentially hide stuff into the so for example, they can have a project and be like, hey, we just want to look at this, but the private sector, we're bringing your people in to look at this. And then you tell us the information. Well, they could have two different security clearances and literally could tell like people in the military, like, well, you don't have a security clearance to see what we're doing over here until we're ready to tell you. Which they think is why what's happening right now is why they're denying access to the House Oversight Committee, is because there's these extra security clearances involved that is protecting them from having to tell them.
So it sounds like the aliens are running a big pyramid scheme. Is that
kind of? This is kind of a pyramid scheme. What, you think the aliens are involved?
In what's that MM multi-level marketing? Is that
like Mary Kay?
yeah.
Wait, are you thinking the aliens are running like Mary Kay and what's that? Neutral.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is you just tell two of your friends about the aliens, and then they tell two of their friends,
and you tell two of your alien interdimensional friends, and then they tell.
Yeah. So, what's a broadcast podcast worth to your organization, Eli? I mean, how big is your sub or getting just by this conversation? And more
Listen,
importantly, what do you owe each of us for our time?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say I owed you guys a lot until you were all put on your Barnum Bailey's makeup and became a bunch of clowns
What?
and then made fun of me.
Was-
So
We're not making fun of you. We're here
making fun of the way I
celebrating
say
with you.
thank you, which I say like a normal person.
Eli,
Yes.
I didn't say it once, but I'm going to tell you something. Just stop saying it then. And then they had
But so that would that's a big part where even the members of Congress are a little hesitant about the alien stuff. They are concerned because the military is not cooperating with the oversight committee and they're not providing information when requested. So that's the thing.
I don't know how the private sector could ever keep their mouth this shut for this many decades. I don't buy it.
Oh no, for sure they could.
Uh,
You have people like companies like Lockheed and Martin and stuff.
I don't know about that.
No one knows what they do. They kind of know what they tell you they do, but Lockheed Martin, like they're one of those companies that conspiracy theorists, because they know so little about, because they're a military contractor, they don't they do some crazy stuff, and they actually think potentially John Benet Ramsey, that's who her dad worked for.
Oh no!
Maybe that
Don't
was
do this.
some-
Don't do this, Eli.
Just saying.
What,
That's
she was an
fact.
alien? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Maybe some
Yeah,
people
I thought that's what you were implying.
maybe some people on this podcast have actual family that were private contractors at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Maybe.
See what I'm saying? So thank you, Dave, for proving my point. I appreciate that.
How does
You're
that
welcome.
prove your
I don't know.
point?
I don't know
It
what I
does.
just did, other than tell you that I have family that's worked in the private sector.
Because you proved my
That's good.
point. You proved my point.
My dad works in the private sector for the government.
And I bet you he knows things.
He's a nuclear engineer. Yes, he knows.
Oh
things.
my God. Prove my point.
what point?
I'm getting there. Okay. I'm getting
We're
there.
still getting there.
So
Oh man.
yeah, another bombshell they said was that another issue is, despite last year Congress the Department of Defense coming forward and be like, hey, these UAPs are real. We're tracking them. We have these systems in place. Apparently, they're still so hushed that in the military, which the Department of Defense was handling the militaries, they still feel like they can't disclose it, members, when they see these UFOs. And they said NASA was handling the private sector, and apparently they still do not have a way to report these, which is crazy considering the sightings have increased dramatically in the last 5 years, was another thing that came out of this hearing, especially on the East and West Coast, and very heavy around military bases and installations, which they made a point of, which this David Grush, his intelligence whole thing was working with satellites. So it was very interesting. So we're seeing more UFOs than ever. We have no way of reporting it, which is crazy. They're also finding these UAPs are in the sea, and there's evidence of them being, in the air, and evidence of them being in the sea. So their ships can go air and sea. So they can go between mediums.
So Jeff's already happy
Yeah.
because they're
Because
not
you
afraid
think
of the
they're-
water. Because they're not
Well,
afraid of the water.
He's afraid of jellyfish.
No, but my point.
Oh,
is
the aliens,
science
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could be, but they're in a ship, so it's not like they're swimming in there.
Well,
Why
then
would
they're
they take
dumb.
a chance?
Yeah, what especially as much as they crash. Why would they?
Maybe, Jeff, they're going
Don't
after.
you feel like if any aliens come here, they're going to be like the dumbest aliens out of their species? They're going to be like, yeah, go to Earth with all the rest of the idiots down there. So they either get like the party animal aliens or just drunk and they wreck their spaceships everywhere, or just the ones that are too stupid to be able to fly.
The one they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, yeah, you go on a peace mission to Earth. You know?
Good luck.
Watch out for the water.
No, they don't
Tell
warn
you
them.
got no faith in the aliens. The other thing too, the crazy thing that all three witnesses said is, as far as they know, the military treats these UAPs as adversaries because they have
Because it's the military and they treat everything as adversaries.
that, but also
Especially WAPs. WAPs are
Yeah.
the adversaries to the military.
with
Yeah.
David Fravor stuff, like these ships actively shut down their communications, their targeting systems, and their satellites whenever they're around. And
So they don't play fair. Is that what the military is saying?
that's one. And two,
Oh.
they said that they antagonize the pilots. And when they've seen multiple flying, they fly in a formation, which is typically an aggressive style pattern, which I'm like, well, you would know because they fly.
So it's
in
Flying V
patterns.
from the Mighty Ducks.
Apparently.
Okay. That is pretty aggressive.
And then Matt Gaetz, who is representative for Florida, who may be
Bill Gates' brother.
I don't think that's true. He
Yeah.
doesn't.
Oh, that's not true?
No, he doesn't have the brains.
Oh, I thought we were just saying stuff on this podcast.
He doesn't have the brains that God gave a goose. But he was talking about how there was an incident in Florida, and because of the nature of what occurred, they brought him in, and he saw a picture of a UAP, and the most modest thing he's ever said was, "I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. All I know is I don't think we have anything like that on Earth." That was
So
a
we're
member
gonna-
of Congress admitting that,
So we're gonna trust a guy that doesn't have brains like fit for a goose?
but he was being modest when normally he's an asshole.
Oh, just because he was being
That means
modest, though.
something.
It's okay.
That means
Oh,
something.
So-
okay.
He's only a friggin' idiot when he's not agreeing with your position. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
That's the most American thing I've ever heard in my life.
thank you. So those are all the big bombshells that dropped during that hearing. You have, oh no, I'm sorry, one more bombshell. David Grush said he also saw, which is why he kind of went public and filed the whistleblower reports, where the military has harmed and potentially killed people to cover up secrets involving the UAP program
What?
and the aliens. Now, if you think about it, right, some of this hearing, you had people on television vetted by Congress reporting under oath in a congressional hearing, confirming some of the biggest conspiracy theories in the world: the government hurting citizens to cover up stuff, UAPs and aliens, and dark money through the government. What?
Do you think it's because of the writer's strike? I mean, there's not a lot on lately.
That's true.
You know?
It could be. It definitely
Wait,
could be.
are you
They're
saying
like,
this is
we
all
need
just
some
made up for
television
entertainment?
Yes, I am.
Correct. That is
Your-
exactly what Jamie's saying.
Government hosted a hearing on TV where they had a serious conversation about aliens, UFOs, and the military's doing thing outside the confines of the U.S. government.
What
And
I
you
find
think
so
it's
hilarious
fake?
about this is a radio teleplay that talked about aliens back in the day has had more of an impact on actual humans like freaking out than whatever this teleplay that was put on in Congress.
Yeah, no one cares. Isn't that funny?
I think the reason no
It's
one
hilarious. Like no one gives a shit.
in all,
It's hilarious.
in all fairness, though, I think the reason no one cares is if you think about 2023.
'Cause it wasn't a TikTok trend. That's why nobody cares.
It wasn't a
They're too
TikTok
busy
trend.
arguing about
Yeah.
Barbie being a man-hating movie
yep.
or whatever other nonsense.
3, there's whistleblower reports coming out about AI and how we can't control it anymore, and it's on its own now. There's nothing we can
Well,
do.
yeah, that's
The waters around Florida, the temperature was over 100 degrees this week.
right. Jellyfish.
The polar ice
worst.
caps are melting. Scientists announced this week that they've revived 3 bacterias, 2
worm's a worm or
viruses,
something, right? Some
and
kind of
a large bloodworm that they found
Mhm.
frozen in the permafrost. They just brought them back to life, and they're like, we're just going to watch it for a while. They don't really know what they do, except for the virus is the largest virus alive currently. So that's, I'm sure, not terrible.
That's
Well, at least we
Um,
have the predator here now. He can tell us what to do.
There's also a concern of there being a new smallpox outbreak because the permafrost is melting. Because in Russia and Serbia, when they had their massive smallpox plague, they just buried them in the snow, and that's melting now.
I mean, we dealt with COVID.
There's a Legionnaire's disease is growing rampant in Texas, which is, or no, I'm sorry, not Legionnaire's, leprosy. Excuse me, is
Oh,
going
perfect.
rampant.
Legionnaire's disease.
I'm going to say leprosy. Excuse me. It's going rampant in Texas, which is not a good sign. No one can afford rent, housing, or food. So, like, I feel like the reason people don't really care about aliens right now is because they're like, well, I'll probably starve to death before they get.
No, I agree. There's way more pressing matters
Mhm.
than the minimal chance of aliens
But
coming. to
minimum?
Earth. Yes, minimal chance.
Okay, you know what, Jamie? I know what you need. you need me to get into the theories. I'm going to tell you what my theory.
Damn it, Jamie.
I'm going to tell you what my theory is.
As if he wasn't getting there anyway, guys. I just got him there faster.
I think
There
he
you
almost
go.
forgot about him.
No,
He brought it back up.
I got 3
No
theories for
way.
you.
They're written. No way. He has an outline.
I got 3 theories for you. I got my theory. I got the lamestream media's theory.
Okay.
And I got who used to be my partner in arms conspiracy theorist who have turned against me theory.
I
Because they're
want to
dead
hear
to me.
Dave's theory personally.
That theory
We'll
is
get to it. I've got one.
bananas. Hey, so Jamie, which one do you want to hear first?
I want to hear yours.
Here's my theory, right? It's no coincidence, I think, that they're saying we started seeing UFOs in capturing them in the 30s. Because if you think about it, it's the same thing with primates, right? We were able to break apart an atom, which is not an easy task. That is very difficult. That the fact that we showed that ability to break an atom was what opened the door for all these other technologies with like nuclear weapons, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, all that all started with that. So I would think about it this way, right? If we knew there's monkeys that live in the jungle, and if all of a sudden someone's like, hey, these monkeys are making guns and firing in the forest, us as humans would be like, well, we got to investigate this and see what they're doing. That's what I think the aliens are doing with us. I think the moment we crack down, they're like, whoa, these monkeys are dealing with forces they do not understand. Because for the time the atom bomb was created, we basically have access to planet killer weapons. If we fired all the nuclear missiles off right today, every country, it would destroy this planet. So once like that's a sign of, no, we're not as advanced as the aliens. That's a sign of advanced civilization.
But then what are they doing? Like, what are they biding their time? What have they been doing for this long? Because think about it, once again, like, right? So monkeys, to go back to my monkey thing, not actually with guns, but
monkeys.
But if you look at primates right now, a lot of scientists think primates have evolved to the point that they're entering into their stone age, because they're like studying these tribes of monkeys and primates, and they're finding that they're starting to actively make tools. Like there's some of them have been making spears, and like they're like trying to fish and pull stuff out of the water. And like they're making these like almost look like spoon things now, to like crawl out like bugs and stuff out of stumps, where before they were just like kind of scratching with sticks and stuff. So they actually think, scientists think that monkeys are, now we're not going to go in and beat the shit out of every monkey because we think Planet of the Apes is happening.
Talk about yourself there, buddy.
You better not cast no wide nets here. I'll fight a monkey right now.
No, none of you are beating monkeys. Let's take this back.
I didn't say beat. I said fight.
This is the second time I've heard you wanting to fight a monkey on this podcast. And
I just
Jeff has a very specific bucket list.
Is that like one of your secret desires?
I just want to clarify something, Eli. Are you saying prime apes or prime mates?
I saw Jeff's face change when Eli said that word, and
they're all primates. But the classification of prime apes are your like orangutans, gorillas.
Did you just make that up? Because
no.
I've never heard that before.
No.
It seems like you just made it up. Which would be par for the course for everything.
Why do you
they didn't call it Planet of the Prime Apes. They called it Planet of the Apes.
Why? First off, that's a movie. Secondly, why do you think I always just make stuff up? Now, because you do. Could I have misheard something? That happens. That sure does.
83% of all of your facts are lies.
But I'm pretty sure, because on Bigfoot stuff, they refer to Bigfoot as a prime ape because he's one of the like is not like a wild, like intelligent.
Okay, according to Google, prime ape is a fighting type Pokemon introduced in Generation 1.
Hold on, we're not doing this. I'm gonna look it up here.
Eli, all I'm saying is sometimes the method by which you get to your thesis is then. Okay.
Hold on.
I can't. The only thing I see is literally the Pokemon
thing,
like the first like 200 entries on Google. So
he's not a cute Pokemon either.
Well, you know,
I don't know. That's like
okay for Jeff to fight him.
I'm not a fan of him.
I found a video on how to catch him.
Yeah, Jeff can fight him. Jeff can fight the Pokemon. That's fine.
Okay, fine. I'll call them their great apes.
There we go. That's the right nerve.
So
I'm glad we got that cleared up, because otherwise our journalistic integrity would be shot.
So, Jamie, to my point, we're not going to go beat the shit out of monkeys or the great apes, but we're going to be watching them, because if they're entering their Stone Age and making tools and stuff, we don't want to be in the Great Ape War. So the aliens, I think, is the same thing. Like, we are now in a period where we're dabbling with all these technologies. And if you think about it, our technology has grown drastically ever since that moment, right? Since the moment of the splitting of the atom, like, we've unlocked all, because at around the same time, that's when you have, like, because Oppenheimer himself invented a bunch of theoretical physics and all that, like, all this stuff's happening. So, like, I think they're watching us being like, what are they doing with all this? But, like, they're not ready to just come out and just start beating the shit out of us, because we are pretty much just monkeys.
They're working up to it.
That we are.
Well, they're waiting to see what are we going to do? Are we going to evolve and become the best version of monkeys we can be?
Doubt it.
So do I. Or are we just going to be monkeys who fling poop at everyone? Because that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's 100% going to happen.
That's definitely what Eli's going to be doing.
I mean, how long do you think they're going to wait? Are they going to wait 3 years or 30 years?
Okay, first off, I don't talk like that. Okay? I said thank you. I don't understand what the problem. Thank you.
Eli, stop saying it. Just stop.
Anyways, so that's my theory, Jim. That's why I think the aliens are around and stuff, because even if you think about it now, right? The sheer amount of nuclear missiles we have worldwide, right? Also, like, they're talking about how all these increased over the last couple of years. What was the big announcement that came out not even 6 months ago? We finally cracked nuclear fission, which means once we figure out a container to harness it, we have unlimited power. So, like, so that's the next great, like, crazy. So, like, the aliens are like, what's going on here? What are they doing?
Do you guys remember Grape Ape?
I do. That's a good dude.
What the fuck is Grape Ape?
Left the ranch.
Man, I don't know. Like, all this monkey talk got me thinking about Grape Ape.
What the fuck is Grape Ape?
You don't know what Grape Ape is? He's
that
giant purple gorilla.
Yeah, from the Rally cartoon.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
No idea.
Yeah, look, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't look up Grape Ape and watch some old Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
I don't think I am.
I'm sure they got an alien in there somewhere.
Sit around and listen to Congress, which
is pretty much a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Yeah, well.
Theory 2 is
that was only
which one is this one?
That was
oh my god.
The first theory was my theory.
That was Eli's.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second theory,
that one got me thinking,
is what we'll say is what the lamestream media's theory is.
Oh,
right.
I know those guys.
They're coming out and they're saying that, this stuff is being talked about and being admitted and all that stuff. But they're like, well, maybe they're not that advanced. And the reason that's why they're crashing all the time. And, like, they're, like, being around, like, they're like, or maybe, maybe there's not that many, maybe they're dead already. And it's all the stuff we're finding is, like, fossilized and stuff. Like, maybe it's not that big a deal, but they're fools. They literally, when they first came out like a year ago, they wouldn't even talk about it because they're too busy talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial. Like, who gave a shit? Besides, apparently,
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard probably did.
Well, I mean, they cared a little bit. That's a lame theory.
That's pretty interesting, though, that is their theory, that they do actually exist, but they're not as big of a threat. Right. Like, they're not denying their existence of aliens. They're just saying, well, maybe they're just either idiots or, you know what I mean? Like,
how could they be idiots though and develop something to fly here?
It's super easy. It's
I mean, look at us.
All I'm saying is
we haven't developed something to fly.
If you believe
fair.
Bob Lazar,
all I know is not everybody in the human race is capable. Just like like we have airplanes and stuff, but I mean, there's some people I wouldn't let fly. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we may have full self-driving vehicles, but not everybody behind the wheel of those is a genius.
Capable,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, the third theory is what my conspiracy theorist brethren broke my heart with because they've turned against the way.
Who is this?
I was so excited during this hearing. I'm like, all these old time conspiracy theorists, like everything that they believed was true. Everything they believed was admitted. And I don't know if it was too much for their brain or if they just constantly need something to bitch about. Because now those conspiracy theorists are saying, nope, there's no aliens. They're saying actually what happened because there's a speech Ronald Reagan made in the 80s during like the Iran-Contra and stuff where he was like, sometimes he wished there was a common threat to unite the world. Like someone from another world would come and the world would unite and have one enemy so all the world could get along. Is what he said in the speech. Now those people are saying that this has been a plan enacted by Ronald Reagan to convince us that the aliens are playing the long game because then they're going to pretend to be these aliens and kill half of us to lower the population, to create the New World Order, which will rule the whole planet under one person. And I was so devastated when they quit believing in aliens. I think Ronald Reagan's the villain. That fucking guy. Like, it's sad. So the conspiracy theorists have turned their back on aliens. Except for me.
I think what you've got there is the classic edgelord teenage angst kind of reaction to when your dad starts wearing your favorite band's t-shirt. It's no longer cool.
Yeah.
Well, it broke my heart. They turn against the way.
Mm. Well,
so I got to ask you guys, which theory do you think is true? Are you concerned about the aliens?
we haven't heard Dave's theory yet.
Dave, do you have a theory?
I do. I mean, I don't know that I have a theory. I read an interesting article and it probably has nothing to do with what's going on right now, but it just piqued my interest as, a basic, boring, square dad kind of person. But did you know that the Air Force requested on March 23rd of this year a $30 billion, that's the big B, $1 billion budget increase for a little program called Space Force, and they're voting on that same program or that budget here in August. Yeah, I just found that interesting.
Now, I agree with you, but let me ask you this, Dave. Do you think they are making up all the space threats to get the budget, or do you think they're like, well, we'll let them have a little taste of what we might have to deal with so we get the big budget?
I'm saying they're milking everything they've got right now for.
Oh, we got some aliens we got to go after.
You don't think aliens are real, Dave?
No, I think they're very real. I don't think they've ever been so incompetent to crash land on our friggin' planet, but I think they're very real.
So we're going to just push this dude out in front of Congress, get him to do the little song and dance with zero physical evidence or pictures or.
Oh, no, he says he has that stuff, but he couldn't do it in an open setting.
And then maybe, just maybe, who knows? This has never happened in the history of our country, but just maybe there'll be a public uprising saying, well, what are you all going to do about it? Well, it just so happens we have this program. And for just a few dollars of your time.
Yeah, but even at that, we don't have the technology to go against these UAPs.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, these
not yet. That's why we have to spend. We have to spend the $30 billion to get it.
Fly on a dime. I don't know.
Like I said, it's a crazy conspiracy. It's just something I found interesting.
Did you say they fly on dimes?
No, they can fly on a dime. Like they can turn. They can like if you watch like
they video, fly on dimes.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant like turn on a dime.
They can turn on a dime. Oh,
but they fly. Well, but they're flying. They're not driving. So I say fly on a dime.
You're not great at verbs, are you?
You know what? You're not great at words. Okay.
Look. I'm not saying it's even
verbs,
and I said words.
Look, I'm not even saying that this is a viable theory. I'm just saying it's something to think about.
You know what? Everything I love, you guys shit on. Everything I love is hurtful. No, I was so excited to bring this to you guys, the real truth. Prepare yourselves, and you all just shat down my throat and made fun of the way I talk, which I can't help it. Okay,
I wasn't making fun of you. I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding what you were saying. I mean, a lot of people have speech impediments. It's fine.
I don't have a speech impediment.
I heard you loud and clear. Yeah, I think you speak very clearly.
Got it
very well.
Yep.
Jamie, you don't let them talk to me this way.
Almost as good as the primates.
I thought we had. I made a mistake. I thought I heard that, but it was great apes. Whatever. Whatever. It don't matter.
It wasn't grape apes either.
You know what's sad? I worked like I've had this theory, and I'm like, man, it's all connected. Like it makes sense if you follow the logic, and then you guys just shout all over it.
So you're honestly your first theory, all shtick aside. That's what you believe is happening right now.
If you look, because here, so we made the atomic bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around the same time, England was also working on theirs, and that's when you have all the UFO activity that occurred in the Blackmores, because that's where they were based out of, right? And then the fact that you're saying there's all of these like military institutions, what do we keep there? Not our Tiddlywink subscription, you know? Like I think it all started. You know, it's all with once we split the atom, like that is when we become elevated. That is a feat, especially for the time frame and how fast we did it, which was out of necessity.
Yeah.
Well, we thought, whatever, you know.
Yeah, I think even outside of the whole alien conversation, the world recognizes that things changed when nuclear energy became viable.
Right. As soon as we split an atom.
What was the time frame for the atomic bomb versus the first recorded, or like you know what I mean? Is it, so your theory is that they were here because we made the atomic bomb?
I think that's
I'd
I'd
like to put forth this theory. We made the atomic bomb because they are here.
Wait, hold on.
Their technology. So no, hear me out. Here's my theory on the whole situation.
Okay.
Right? So if you look at our breadth of technology from the 30s, since the introduction of the atomic bomb, right? If you look at the core analog features of physics and astrophysics, science, that kind of stuff, most of it has stayed relatively the same. We've made advances in superficial things, right? Computers, the way we interact with that technology, but the general technology, the analog underlying technology has not changed, right? So my theory is these aliens came and gifted us this, but we're still too stupid to understand. So that's why we have an advance, right? We basically took this information from them, but we weren't able to expound on it.
Hold on, Jeff.
Yeah.
My nipples are hard right now.
Oh my god!
Your theory is that potentially the Manhattan Project and the Y Project before that, which was the set of the Los Alamos labs,
right?
The creating the atomic bomb was tertiary.
No, listen
to the actual goal of figuring out this technology.
If you think what is the human race the best at? What are we the best at?
Fucking shit up.
Right. So let's say these aliens came in order to advance our civilization. They provide us with the ability to split atoms to produce a fuel source, and we turn it into a weapon, right?
Ooh. And now they're just watching us?
It's possible that they're just like, look, like, or maybe a cleanup crew's coming. Like, look, we fucked up. We gave these monkeys a gun. Like, yeah,
right.
Like who? Right.
Jeff has a real problem with apes. That's what we've learned today.
But like, if you give a monkey a gun and he shoots somebody, who do you blame? You know what I mean?
Right.
The monkey, or do you blame the person who gave him the gun? You know?
Both.
Right. But to answer,
but like I said, think about it though. Like we gave up on like physics and like the. Not necessarily gave up, but we've made no advances in things of like that nature in order to progress our society and our push against the natural laws of things. And how do we advance? Like those are the underlying theories of everything we are: physics, math, that kind of stuff. And we're at a standstill. Like we haven't done anything with that kind of technology aside, like AI and that kind of stuff aside. That's more just ancillary to those core, like it's a tool to advance those core principles. You know what I mean?
That's scary. That was I like that theory. To answer your question, Dave, just so you decide who you think you agree with more, because both these theories I think are very good.
Hey, are you just automatically discounting my theory?
Well, no, I haven't got there yet, but I'm answering your question. The UFO, like the increase in UFO, people seeing them or like claiming them, seeing them and stuff, it was like in the mid 30s. If you figure like the kind of the genesis of the Manhattan Project. You're looking at like 37, 38. And then Roswell happened in 47. So 10 years later, but I think 3 years after we used the atomic bombs, or 2 years after we used the atomic bombs. So Roswell was not that long after.
So do you believe, Eli, that there are actual nuts and bolts FTL aliens visiting the planet?
Well, I go back.
It was a simple question, Mr. Blake.
Well, I go back and forth between
yes or no.
Are they
yes or no?
Are they extraterrestrials, or are they just interdimensional beings? Like, they could be our timeline.
Yeah, oddly enough, the physics backs and defends the interdimensional thing much better than it does the space travel.
That's what's great, because like we have the equations technically for how the wormholes would work and string theory and like these dimensions or even alternate dimensions. So like I go back and forth. I as much as I think it'd be cool thinking like there's like all these like different alien species, and like one day I'm gonna be like gonna be fucking Terminator, but I'm fighting like spider people.
You're gonna fuck the Terminator? Is that what you said?
That's not what I said.
Ouch.
But
Ouch.
I think as time
I'll be back.
As time goes on, I think I lean more towards interdimensionality. Not so much
so here's another theory, right? It kind of it leans into the interdimensional in some way, right? So are these non-humans the so-called actually just us from another dimension, or our
potentially future self,
right?
Our alternate selves, like if a different timeline?
Because if you think of things like the ancient civilizations, right, that we really don't know anything about, like we find like bits and pieces of their cultures and civilizations, but we don't know anything about them, you know? So who's to say they haven't? Yeah.
I was just going to say, but that theory would suggest that there are things going on right now that might give a future generation concern that they would want to come talk to us about. I mean, what could possibly going on on the planet right now that somebody might want to come back and say, "Hey, could you stop fucking shit up?" I mean, it's I can't think of anything.
Climate change, pollution.
Think of it like this. Well, what if this is like the sacred world, right? Because this is the birthplace of humanity, technically, and these other us's, or these past us's that have advanced their civilization, would like to maintain this world as the sacred world of humanity's origin, right?
That sounds like some Galilean nonsense now. Come on, Jeff. Are we the center of the universe? Is that what you're saying?
All I know is when I woke up, the earth was going around, or the sun was going around the earth.
Were we flat or are we round?
Oh, we're round. Come on,
that's a personal question, and I'm
not. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, all I'm saying is that any one of us in past experience has taught me this. Any one of us is just one good mushroom away from visiting whatever planet we want to visit.
About time.
Dave, what's your theory? What do you? I know you told your one, but but I thought you had another one.
No, that is my theory.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a very good theory.
All you have to do, Eli, and I've said this before, is always follow the mother loving money. And there
30 B's, baby.
Yeah.
30 B's is a whole lot of ducats.
If that is their case, they are not doing a very good job of it, trying to get it to pass in this government.
I guarantee it's going to pass.
Oh, so do I. But not without some quid pro quo.
Somewhat. They're going to be like, no, and they're going to be like, please. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine. That's what they're going to do. Like that's
a government place hard to get. Is that what you're saying?
All our government has to do is tack the military onto it, and it'll go right through the budget. There's no debating it. Like,
apparently the rumor is that the same individual who leaked the Tic Tac video originally is trying to leak another video that may show some non-human biologics.
That's fantastic. All I'm saying is that on September 1st, if nobody on the planet is talking about this stuff, there may be a reason.
I was just going to say, and this has nothing to, but like in 2023, are we actually, at this point, are we believing videos? Like we had all these years to get visual proof where we would have believed it. I don't believe shit I see on the internet in 2023. Like you could completely recreate a human being and make them do whatever the fuck you want.
But even before that, there's been a lot of UFO videos you can find.
Hey, I'll send you a video of Jeff punching a chimpanzee in the mouth in 10 minutes. That's on its way.
Yep.
Where are your people's sense of wonder?
I don't have it. I'm sorry. Like my day to day,
23.
Yeah, I don't give this another thought. This never even enters my brain in a day. I know. Listen, Eli. I love your passion for it, and I'm not discounting. I'm not discounting anyone believing any theory of what I'm saying is that I don't give this a second thought in my day to day life, and I will die before anything comes to fruition.
Jamie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do one day? You're sitting in your apartment. You're playing a game. I don't know what game you're playing now.
Right now, actually,
yeah.
I just finished something. Nothing.
Okay, so you're starting your new game. New game comes out. You're like, oh, I want to play it. You're playing it.
I can't even make something up.
And what's that you hear? You hear a little knock on the door, and you go. You move all the glitter from out front of your door.
Uh-huh.
You open the door, and I'm standing there, and I'm like, Jamie,
okay.
I'm standing there. I'm like, I will take that apology card now as I pull an alien.
I will
into
give
the frame of the door. I'm like,
that's Eli. I will, but what I'm
here's
saying
an alien.
Is, in my lifetime, the age I am now.
All I know is, Jeff, if that alien looks like a monkey, I'm not coming to your door.
Yeah, Jeff's gonna kill it.
Yeah,
I didn't say kill.
I'm afraid to go.
Right in the face.
I said fight.
I'm afraid
that is me.
Jeff would allow it to win.
It's on equal. No, you're equal. It's an agreed upon situation. You
may the best creature win.
I'm concerned with even going to the zoo now with Jeff.
That's fair.
Because you're going to give
me a reputation of assaulting.
I'm going to give you. You've created your own
of assaulting
primate assaulter.
Listen, people that listen to this show, they're going to.
That's where I draw the line. Jellyfish, you can get rid of all of them, but I am not a primate assaulter.
You said you would fight them.
That is different.
On equal terms.
Equal terms.
Yeah, that's not assault.
Understand? Is an agreed upon contest between gentlemen.
And gentle apes.
I love this mental exercise that this is something that Jeff genuinely needs in his life.
Do you have a monkey fight club?
That would just be silly.
Not yet.
Okay.
If he did, he wasn't going to talk about it. That's the number one rule. Monkey Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
Kind of stuff.
Are you trying
to? Why do you need 700 bananas for it? Don't worry about it. I'd say.
Eli, when you show up in New York City with your alien, I will cook you dinner. We'll have the three of us. We'll have a nice sit down.
No, if I show up,
is this alien going to be dead or is it alive?
No, he'll be alive. He'll be following me. If I show up that alien, you have to take.
He's going to follow you.
You have to take us to Golden Corral.
That's sure.
Well, and I was going to ask,
why would I make the alien? Why would I make him suffer through Golden Corral when I live in Manhattan?
Good one.
With
if just like Signs, these aliens are killed by Golden Corral.
Oh,
then I will have to very quickly leave.
I'll be the Golden Corral, and then he just lays face down dead in the macaroni, the with all that skin on top of it. It's just like.
Eli would be the one to kill the alien.
I would be so devastated if I had an alien accidentally killed it. Oh my God, I'd be so sad.
Okay, Jamie, serious question. All this other palavra aside, you just made a point that I need clarification on. When Eli shows up with an alien, what are you cooking for an occasion like that? What's on the menu for that specific occasion?
Well, I don't cook animals, so the alien is going to get some pasta. I'm Italian,
what kind of pasta?
It's pasta and red sauce. It just doesn't have meatballs in it.
What's for dessert?
Marinara.
That's more important.
You never heard of marinara sauce?
No, I do like
spaghetti.
I like ragu.
Eli, holy shit!
I grew up in West Virginia. No one knew how to make roast spaghetti sauce. We had ragu. What more importantly, what are you making us for dessert? Because that's more what I care about.
Or are you ordering out for something?
No, this is for you to decide. Like I brought the aliens.
It's your event.
You figure out.
Oh, but I need to know why I like to cater. Like, what's the alien's favorite tastes?
Hey,
what do you think? What do you think the alien needs to experience? Is
it peanut butter? Tasted anything?
Okay,
apparently
so
human flesh. Like,
okay.
Why does he want human flesh?
Because he's an alien. What do you mean? Like, why does he want human flesh?
He didn't eat me. Like we're hanging out. I'm just showing him around
for now.
Yeah,
it can be Jamie's for a good meal.
Some cupcakes. Then
I like cupcakes.
Icing and a cake, and like we can make it all.
All right. I dig it.
I make I made like a peanut butter caramel pretzel cupcake once. Like,
that sounds good.
We can make like I can.
Okay.
I feel like if you haven't had these tastes, like it's got to either be like chocolate has to be involved, or peanut butter, or something. You know what I mean?
Or chocolate and peanut butter.
You think an alien is going to make it the whole way from Pennsylvania to New York with Eli? Like, do you think that's really going to happen? Like,
it gets on Amtrak or something.
I'm just telling you right now, if you don't think for a second that my life is not going to be the fucked up version of ET, you're wrong.
How many strip clubs are you stopping at on the way?
None. But like we're gonna go to some places.
What was that Seth Rogen alien movie?
The pleasures
of humanity.
He doesn't wear pants and predators have a dick. Like, no, like we got more important shit to do.
Wow, that is you know what? That's very presumptuous.
You're making assumptions here.
I don't care.
I don't.
First,
the aliens come and they have to like what Eli likes. I'm getting it. Okay, so
they have to
you show up and Jamie's like, just because the alien doesn't have pants doesn't mean you don't have to wear pants. Eli.
Listen,
that's not how it works.
When that alien comes to me and goes, "Hey, bro, we're here," and I'm like, "Cool, bro, let's go." First thing we're doing is going on the apology tour, and there's 5 doors I'm going first, looking for an apology.
This alien's going to get back to his ship after 3 hours of Eli reading the Lord of the Rings to him, and he's going to get to his buddies and say, "Burn this fucking planet to the ground."
No, he'll say, "That is the greatest story ever told."
Start with this house specifically.
First off, that's not even true. They're going to love Lord of the Rings, okay? You don't even know.
What?
They'll love it.
A bold assumption.
I heard it was written by aliens.
No, Tolkien wasn't an alien.
The most hilarious thing is if
when did he write that book?
Oh, was it in the 30s?
Well, technically, he started. Technically, oh wow, I guess technically, during World War I, he did start writing that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All I'm saying is, I'm praying starting today that what Eli finds in an alien partner to do this tour with is the alien equivalent of Jeff that just wants to fight him.
Oh my god!
Why does he want to fight me? Because he's down here to fight primates.
Listen, you get all excited, you say a couple things wrong, and you think you're like, I bring facts.
Eli opens the door and the alien just punches him right in the face, just like Jeff is gonna do that.
And then he says, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah.
Then I'll throw
I guess as an alien, he would say, "Come at me, bro."
Oh my god!
If
that alien's like Jeff, I'll just throw a jellyfish at him and just be done with it and shut my door.
You know what? That's ignorant.
Jeff,
don't be afraid of a
jellyfish. With jellyfish?
Oh, you weren't on last week's, were you?
No, wait.
Oh no, I jellyfish are awful, the worst. Literally,
he's got very strong opinions.
Yeah,
he wants. He. I believe he at one point stated he was going to walk out in the ocean, start punching the water, just to hopefully he hit one.
Oh man,
You see Jeff out there
all I know is I go for your crotch. That's as far as I want to get into the jellyfish situation. We're talking about aliens this episode.
So. Okay, I'm sorry.
Some people,
it's jellyfish are.
Some people theorize jellyfish are technically aliens.
You can read my memoirs if you'd like to hear all about it.
What's the title?
Am I jellyfish?
Jeff has a subreddit. Fuck jellies.
Why is it "Am I jellyfish"? Why is that your
remember
memoir
them
name?
jelly shoes?
Oh my god, the ugliest shoes in the world.
They should make all shoes out of jellyfish. That's what
that was the Crocs of the 80s.
Wait, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be like gender norm, but like, did guys have jelly? I thought it was a female shoe.
No, the dude wore jellies, didn't he?
I don't think I knew any boy, like little boy friends
there wasn't a lot of them.
No, because they were uncomfortable.
I definitely had them. They were pink, sparkly, maybe, or I don't know, clear, I don't remember.
So were mine. What are you saying?
I said I don't want to make any assumptions.
Now I can already see it, Dave. When you hear that knock on your door, open it, there's going to be 3 people there looking for an apology. me and the alien, and then Dave for making fun of his jelly that he'll be wearing. I'm pretty sure the dude wore jellies. Right?
I'm just there for the
That's
costume.
what he just.
The dude wore jellies.
Yeah,
and he was the dude,
and he abides.
He does.
I never saw it. Sorry.
Oh,
Wow!
Oh my gosh! Wow! You disappoint me.
You would hate that movie. I can envision it now, and I'm not speaking on your behalf, Jamie, but having seen it several times.
You guys, most of you guys can. I'm not saying all movies, but you guys are pretty good at knowing when I hear it. Wait, I take that back. I of course may have seen it in like my teen years, but not enough to stick with me that like I could sit here and I know references from pop culture. What I'm saying is like it's not enough that I could say like, oh, I've seen that and I know it. I don't know.
It's in the same
I've seen
vein.
pieces of it.
And Eli's going to hate this comment, but it's in the same vein to me as the zombie movie.
Shaun of the Dead?
No, with Bill Murray.
I've seen
Zombie
that.
No, my God.
No,
No.
The dead don't die.
Oh,
that
I've
one.
seen.
Same kind of movie as that.
That I've seen.
No, see, I would say it's more like Fargo.
I've seen that too.
Well, that's because it was made by the same people.
Well, right, but I figured she saw Fargo if she's not seen.
I have seen Fargo.
Yeah, see? Hey, you know what I call that?
But
Burn,
again,
Dave.
actually a long time ago. I haven't watched it as like an adult. Anyway.
Yeah, it feels like we've lost the thread of this.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you guys, I came with something cool and you shat all over it. So
aliens are here.
Isn't that
and
the way
we
this
killed
goes?
at Golden Corral. The end.
You know what? Don't bring your theories if you can't stand to have them challenged. That's all I have to say.
well, you didn't challenge my
If they-
theories. You
if
made
they
fun of the
won't-
way I talked.
If they
Yeah.
won't stand up to scrutiny, then don't bring them around this house.
You weren't even scrutinizing my theories. You were making fun of the way I talked.
Don't
Yeah, if
bring
you-
them around here. That's all. I'm
Yeah, if you
saying.
can't stand the heat, don't mess with the thermostat.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
I said thank you. I don't understand what it's thank you. I have a little accent. I don't know what you want me to do. All right. I don't even know what you want me to do.
We love it.
You got a circle.
Dave has little accent. You have a speech impediment.
Maybe I do. And you're going to make fun of the poor guy with a speech impediment.
I didn't make fun of you. I just said you have one.
You made fun of me.
He's just stating facts.
I just want to clarify when you're speaking so that our listeners can make sure they're getting the message
Yeah,
loud and clear. That's all.
And I don't mean to speak on your behalf, Jeff, but I think in the original you were sincerely just asking for clarification.
Yeah,
I think you just genuinely didn't know what he was saying.
I wasn't sure what you were saying. I didn't know if that was like an alien word that you picked up along the way, or I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malicious, at least on Jeff's part.
You turned it into some big thing, and you kept saying it, and I'm like, "What do you know?"
Listen, people. Aliens are real. The government talk about it. I have a speech impediment. I don't know what you want me to do.
That's all you learned tonight.
What you want me to do?
The Gaslight special here on the Wicked Wild.
Hey, Jamie, do you have anything you want to tell the fine folks before we wrap up?
No.
Well, I'll be waiting for that apology card. And it better
When
be,
you bring Eli,
better be a good card.
when you bring the alien for dinner and dessert,
I think
Guaranteed.
you will get an apology card.
We have a truces, and you laughed at all that makes fun of my speech impediment. So I think you should have to write me an apology card.
I didn't. Did I say it? Did I contribute?
You laughed, but you
I
laughed.
can't help the laughing. That's
You
just
laughed at
like
me. You laughed
It's just
at me.
because we're funny, Eli.
I
We're
just
funny
laugh when
people.
people laugh. It's contagious.
Not funny. Not funny. John, do you have anything you want to tell the five people about?
No, not the fine people out there. I just want to say thanks for sharing the truth.
John, let me
Thank
ask
you.
Let me ask you
Thank
quick.
you.
After going over this, what do you think about it?
I always have believed in aliens.
Okay.
I honestly am disappointed in the amount of evidence. The more I've sat with it and listened not only to you, but the guy. And honestly, it was kind of crazy to hear it in Congress. But it's like, dude, we need more than this today. It's 2023. You telling us? I mean, it's kind of gobsmacking. Be like, this dude saying this in Congress, but it's like, dude, we need to see stuff at this point.
Okay.
Like, at least Roswell, the dude brought out that weather balloon, and we all got to see it.
All right. I don't know
Eli
if I
didn't
like
that at
that
all.
answer or if I don't like that answer. I'll let you know. Jeff, is there anything you want to tell the fine folks besides making fun of my speech impediment?
You can also listen to Eli and myself on our other podcast at Lord Masters of the Absurd. We also talk about things in a impedimented way. Is that a real word? I don't know.
Just doubling down.
Dave, you want to tell the fine folks about the Wicked Wild?
Yeah, you're here. So thanks. That's really all I have to say today. It's a special report. I do not want to steal any of Eli's thunder. This is something that I know he's been sitting on for at least 20 years. I mean, this is a big night for Eli. So I would never, ever do anything to distract from.
It was a big night for Eli.
Well, Eli, maybe you'll have more. Are they going to have more of these hearings?
Oh, 100%. At least for the next 30 days.
Yeah.
the last update was after the hearing. There was a lot of concern with the House Oversight Committee. Some about what's this about UAPs and aliens. A lot of them was upset about the fact of potentially hiding money and them not providing info on the whistleblowers beforehand. Before they even had the hearing, a lot of them went to them and be like, "We don't know what to do with these whistleblowers and their information, so help us out here." And they denied to give them any information or help them and told them they didn't have security clearance, even though the House Oversight Committee has top secret clearance. Well, so after this and all this stuff came out, and now a lot of people are like, there's more pressure. They set up a meeting, and their liaison at the Pentagon was like, "Okay, well, come here, we'll meet, we'll talk." So a bunch of members of the House Oversight Committee, they head to the Pentagon, and when they get there, they're basically like, "We're not going to tell you shit. You don't have clearance. You can leave." And they fought with them, and then some people were threatened to be arrested, so then they left. And so now Congress is going to use their subpoena and warrant power to try to force the Pentagon to give them information.
Okay. Well,
so I'm sure there
will be more. Then.
Yeah, to be continued.
New military budgets start October 1st.
So what, you think they're playing coy to get a higher budget?
No, I'm saying that after October 1st, guaranteed we're not going to hear much about this because they will have their budget at that point.
I don't know. They've been talking about
this. I'm just an old crotchety. What do I know? I'm just a crotchety old.
That's why you'll be stop number 1 on the Eli apology tour with my alien friend.
Are you not taking him for dinner first?
I was going to say, I thought Jay was making dinner.
Yeah, lunch. Yeah. He's going to come around lunchtime. We'll head to Dave's first. Get that apology.
I'm just saying that if you start here first, the chances of him getting eaten by a bear are much higher than anybody
head to John's. No, not going to happen because he has a laser gun. Head to John's for a quick apology because he owes me some apologies for some stuff. Pick up a monkey. Head to Jeff's. Have Jeff apologize to me while the monkey beats him up.
Well, I'm going to 180 you because me and the monkey are going to join forces against you and your alien.
Ooh.
We'll have a
Who has a laser gun?
Can we do a ladder
match? Double agent.
Primates are immune to lasers. So.
It's also it's presumptuous or whatever. I think that Eli, that you assume this alien is coming either Mars attacks us. What if he comes like ET and he can't do shit? And he just
what if he
little alien.
Well, first
he moves so slow behind you because he doesn't even have full legs.
You have to put him in a wheelbarrow.
First off, you said
and take him out and fight him everywhere.
First off, you said this alien doesn't do shit. ET had a glow finger.
Okay? Yeah, I know. I love ET. You're the one who hates ET.
I do hate him, but even if he doesn't have a weapon, Jeff and the monkey's not going to know. And if he starts pointing a glowing finger at them, they're going to get scared and run away.
I've seen ET. I'm not afraid.
I don't think Jeff's running away.
But it's not going to look like ET.
I'm telling you it is.
Well, then I'll put a mask on it so he's not sure if it's ET.
What do you think this alien's going to look like? Describe it to us.
Ooh.
Like the aliens, like a gray,
these the ones behind us.
Yeah, like tall, skinny.
You basic bitch. Come on.
That's what all the drawings of people who've been abducted. They've all
because they're all copying each other. They're all
everybody knows.
Now
everybody knows aliens have tentacles and look like octopus. So
now we're talking.
Or it's gonna look like, or it's basically gonna be a giant jellyfish floating behind me, and then Jeff will be really afraid.
It's going to look just like the Nope creature. That's what it's going to look like.
Oh God.
Then I will murder it before we go on the apology tour and drag its fucking corpse with me and go, you know what? You don't have to apologize. Do you want to take a piss on it too? 5 cents, take a piss on it.
Wow. Can you please stop by with that, Eli? I would love to have a few words.
Yeah, for sure.
You heard it here first. John wants to pee on an alien.
If that one specifically.
Oh God, we were ending this, and then
listen, everybody. Thanks for listening. I hope you don't mind my speech impediment as you hear the real truth and ignore these other clowns as they try to tear down as I present to you what you should know.
Eli, you should not have invited us to join you on this journey. You should have just done a one-off by yourself.
I will never again. Bye, everybody.